welcome to Facts with Jax. I'm Jax, and today we will be discussing the very famous Peloponnesian War thanks to a suggestion from one of you. There is so much involved with this topic, and hours worth of research went into it, and the recording so far has been very difficult. So, please like and share the video for my efforts, and don't forget to leave a comment saying what you liked about the video, what you learned, and what you would like to learn about next, or what you think others should be more informed on. Now that that's out of the way, let's just jump right into it. In 445 BC, before the actual Peloponnesian War, what is known as the 30 Years Treaty was signed between Sparta and Athens, who, I'm sure you all know, were almost always at war with each other. As the name suggests, the treaty was supposed to last at least 30 years, but go figure, Athens violated the treaty several times after allying with Corcyra, a colony of Corinth, causing a lot of fighting between Athenians and Corinthians who were allies of Sparta. You can surely see where this is going. This caused Sparta to accuse Athens of aggression and threatened to wage war against the city. Pericles, one of the most influential Greek politicians at the time, advised Athens to not step back and not let Sparta walk all over them like a sad old musty doormat, and instead refused Sparta's diplomatic attempts to get Athens to do whatever the hell the Spartans wanted, and fighting continued as Athens heeded this advice until finally Thebes, an ally of Sparta, attacked Plataea, an Athenian ally, in 431 BC, allowing for the first of the three phases of the Peloponnesian War. This phase is also known as the Academian War by historians. Between the years of 431 BC and 421 BC, Sparta launched several repeated invasions against Attica with its superior army, while Athens took advantage of its naval supremacy and began attacking the Peloponnese. In 428 BC, Sparta attempted to help the island state of Lesbos revolt against the Athenians. However, the Athenians thwarted this revolt and killed the leaders of it. The fact that the Athenians had been able to thwart it was actually very impressive, because while this was going on, they were also dealing with their own terrible plague, which swept through the incredibly crowded city, and over the course of about 10 years, killed over 1/3 up to 2/3 of the Athenian population. That's not the only Spartan attempt which was thwarted either. Most of the Spartan attacks during the plague years were unsuccessful, other than the capture of the city which Thebes had attacked earlier, Plataea. In July of 425 BC, the Spartans almost lost in the Battle of Pylos and Sphacteria, resulting in the Athenians holding about 292 prisoners, with at least 120 of them being Spartiates. It wasn't until around the end of the next year, 424 BC, that they had recovered from this loss, and Spartan general Brasidas had captured Amphipolis. In the same year, Athens suffered a devastating defeat in Boeotia at the Battle of Delium, then another defeat in 422 BC at the Battle of Amphipolis, as they tried to get it back from the Spartans. Between these, Sparta's chances were looking bleak despite Athens' losses, and the citizens wanted to bargain with Athens for peace. However, under Brasidas, the Spartans had several important successes, including one in 424 BC in Chalcidice, encouraging other Athenian subject states to revolt. However, in the Battle of Amphipolis, Brasidas was killed along with Cleon, the leading politician in Athens. It was also around this time that Pericles gave in to the plague and passed away too. This allowed for Cleon's rival Nicias to persuade the Athenians to accept Sparta's peace offer. The Peace of Nicias, also known as the 50-Year Treaty, only lasted about 6 years of the expected 50. It gave way to small military operations as each city tried to win over the other states onto their side. It fully shattered in 415 BC when the Athenians launched a massive assault against Sicily. The next 11 years were the second phase. Because of Athens' major loss in Sicily, Sparta was able to aid Syracuse in breaking an Athenian blockade. Despite gaining reinforcements in 413 BC, the Athenian army was once again defeated. Not long after, the Athenian navy was defeated as well, despite its superiority, and as the Athenians tried to retreat, they were totally destroyed. By the time 411 BC rolled around, Athens itself was in a state of political turmoil. Democracy had been overthrown by oligarchy, which was then overthrown by the more moderate regime of the 5000. By the end of 411 BC, the Athenian navy had been rebuilt and acted to try and restore democracy. However, the democratic leaders refused Spartan peace offerings, allowing for the war at sea to continue, with Athenians and Spartans trading costly victories. To quote Britannica.com, the end came in 405 BC when the Athenian navy was destroyed at Aegispotami by the Spartan fleet, under Lysander, who had received much aid from the Persians. The next year, starved by an impenetrable blockade, Athens capitulated. Athens' defeat was perhaps the worst casualty in a war that crippled Greek military strength, and thus the most culturally advanced Greek state was brought into final eclipse. To conclude, the war between Sparta and Athens, known to be the Peloponnesian War, lasted between 431 BC to 404 BC, ultimately causing great losses on both sides as well as great victories, but ending ultimately in a win for the Spartans. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, be sure to like, share, comment, and tell me what you learned, what you liked, and what you want me to discuss next. Also consider becoming a patron. Patrons get the perk of a Discord rank in my server, where they get one drawing each per month, get to know about all my projects and have updates on them, get these videos a day early, and have priority commissions and topic requests. As well as this, they might get bloopers if I screw up my recording as much as I have in this one. That's it for now. Have a lovely evening, morning, or anything in between, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!